working on end range isometric holds and eccentric training for the rotator cuff, specifically for external rotation. Okay, we can see that there's a decent line of pull, that is to say almost 90 degrees, or eventually it will be, from the forearm to the rope. Great. We have the dowel. We have her in a stride stance with a good glute athletic stance because we know that contraction of the gluteals will facilitate thoracolumbar fascia tensioning and better recruitment at the scapula. Thank you, Dr. Cools, for that. Great. Okay, load it up. Make sure you're at your end range of motion and you're going to hold. You're going to go for 10 seconds. Keep fighting it, keep fighting it, keep fighting it. You're doing great. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. After your 10 seconds, you can start to slowly fail throughout the range. The longer that you hold it, the more beneficial the repetition, the more architectural change you're making within the capsule. And then if you come to your mid-range and then you try and pull back and fight it, EMG of the muscles really goes up, making it a more potent stimulus for the capsule. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Each repetition should be a minimum of 20 seconds. This repetition is going on much longer than that. It's well done. And then fight it there and try and pull out. Try and pull, try and pull, try and pull. Yeah, good shakes, no bicep, so a little less elbow flexion. There it is. Great. And then she's at her navel, so she's done. Same exercise, except for internal rotation, athletic stance, glute engaged, thoracolumbar fascia on. Okay, we're going to slowly fail through the range. You're going to be nearly 33% or more strength here compared to your external rotation. Okay, so the weight's dangling, slowly controlling the weight out. Okay, over the duration of at least 10 seconds. Depending on your range of motion, would determine the rate at which you're doing it. It's encouraged that you start with a sub-maximal weight. That means a weight that you can control. Okay, and then as you start to get to the end ranges of your motion, you're still pinning the towel there, and you're going to eventually find a point where your arm just naturally stops because you've met the end of your passive range of motion. When that's the case, you're now going to assist the weight by actively going into your external rotation. Notice that the rope right now in the line of pull is not adequate because it's directly in line with her forearm. So we're going to have you step forward, take a big step forward. Keep going. There it is. Great. Now actively working into your external rotation. Great. At least 10 seconds at end range. You can notice that even though she's at her end range, she's still in control of the load. Great. Okay, so now training the cuff in the flexed position, external rotation. So our target is on the left shoulder. So you're going to find so working on external rotation at an elevated position, which can better isolate the infraspinatus at this position, as well as the teres minor. Great. So you're going to find your external rotation. What is your end range of motion? I'm highly suspicious you have more external rotation than that. Yep, there it is. Great. Okay. Elbow is going to gently push into the table. The significance of that is that it's going to engage the lower trapezius and stabilize the scap. So you've already lost your end range external. There it is. Great. And then you're going to slowly add the resistance. And you're going to try and hold. You're going to try and hold at that end range, and you're going to fight it. Keep fighting it, keep fighting it, keep working, keep going, keep going. You're doing wonderfully. I know it's hard. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Great. Neck muscles and everything else popping out of their places. This is great. Great. Right there, try and go further back. Go back into your external. Really fight it. Yep. Great. You can see that she's really diligent with titrating the amount of weight that she can be successful with the right arm, which is totally fine, as long as she's fighting it. Notice how her bicep wants to come into play and she starts to flex the elbow. So we're going to just bring that back just like that. And that is a game changer. Great. Great posture here. Nice and stable. Great. Each repetition, a minimum of 20 seconds. If you can go for longer than that, that's champ status. That's well done. We're not only building strength. Specifically, we are trying to build high quality tissue within the capsule and the intramuscular tissue of the rotator cuff. That is to also say the extracellular matrix of the tendon. Very potent, very powerful means, an efficient and effective means at gaining strength of the rotator cuff as well as range of motion. Boom, working on internal rotation. We're working on end range isometric holds as well as eccentrics. So you're going to start in this almost like arm wrestled position. We're training the left arm here. So she's going to gently push into the table with her elbow and gradually fail over a duration of 10 seconds, controlling the weight out, all the way out until she's at the end range of external rotation, wherever that may be for her. Okay, so it's beneficial to measure what is the passive external rotation prior to doing this intervention, so you have a guesstimate as to where your client and or patient can get to. Okay. For Pilar, we know that she's at least into 15 to 20 degrees of external rotation here. That being said, if she cannot control the weight at that end range, then she's only going to go to the point where she feels as though she can control it. Okay, once she's there, once she's at the end range of where she can control it, now she's actually going to engage in the opposing direction. So she's going to go into external rotation. Now the weight's an assist for her as she feels all the tissue on the back side of her shoulder start to contract. Great. So an eccentric for the internal rotators of the shoulder, simultaneously with external rotation and range holds. The internal strength that she's building also works to induce tensile loads directly into the capsule, improving her shoulder range of motion.